watching Kings of Construction.
We're here at the Kings of Construction competition. Make sure you stay tuned for all the action.
And this is the competition starting. Now someone has to move the block and someone has to stack the block tomorrow. So that is the system. Someone has to move them and someone has to stack them. So it's up to them whether they use everybody to move them or if they assign 1 or 2 stackers. We see D&J has assigned 2 stackers from the get-go. The regiment tried to move a few more block down and then they assign their stackers. So it's an interesting strategy. We'll have to see who will win.
Yes, D&G looks like they got their strategy in the bag. They know exactly what they're doing, who's moving what, and who's stacking.
Well, we both know that D&J is one of the larger construction companies in Bermuda, and they're responsible for some of the greatest jobs done in Bermuda. So they should have some experience on their side tomorrow.
I would hope so. Definitely in keeping things sturdy as well.
Now let's see if we can get a look at some of these guys' faces. Are they starting to? Who you think's getting tired first?
I don't know. The regiment's used to going hard and long, but D&G, this is their everyday job, so.
That's amazing. We're having the battle of experience versus muscle, maybe?
Sounds exactly like what that is.
These blocks are flying. They're making it look easy, and the regiment is always up for a challenge.
But it looks like D&G, their system's paying off. They're both on the 3rd row.
Now, I just saw D&J switch the stacker. Maybe one of the carriers got a little tired, and maybe D&J switched him so he can sort of stay still and stack. So it seems like they really do have a good strategy here.
It does. Don't let each guy get too tired. Give them a little break. Because these blocks are heavy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think I'm getting tired just watching them, Tamara. Imagine, Tamara, these guys do this every day in D&J.
They definitely they have the strength and the brawn for it. They're used to doing it all day long, whereas the regiment, they only have their training sessions every so often.
Well, I don't know, Tamara. It looks like after that early lead by D&J, the regiment seems to, at least by sight, have caught them up a bit.
Yep, they definitely have.
I definitely see a tired person there as the regiment leader's showing his wear and tear from this event.
You got the crowd cheering them on as it gets more into the competition.
Yes,
keeping them going, keeping
these guys motivated is intense, and the pallet's starting to look real small at the starter line, and it's really the majority of the blocks are down here by the finish line. It's going to be a close finish, Samara. They're almost neck and neck. I think D&J may be slightly in the lead.
Yep, definitely. They still have a few blocks on the ground. They got to keep stacking up.
I think that the average person doesn't realize that when you put blocks together, you have to stack them a certain way, and that's key to them staying together.
Yes, it's key to balance so they don't tip over, especially on these small crates at their base.
And with that a little bit of experience, or that extra added experience, I think that's really helping D&J as they seem to be walking to a victory in this first competition. D&J is definitely ahead, and they look like they're a shoe-in with only 1 block left on the pallet at the far end. As we see them
It's coming to a finish. Regiment still got a few left.
Bringy's stacking his last blocks, and here's the last 2 blocks from D&J coming to their pallet. D&J's pallet is clear. D&J are the winners of the first competition of the 2013 Kings of Construction competition. Yeah, of the first event. And it's still a battle for time. And here come the last set of blocks for the regiment team, who did a fantastic job. Absolutely worked hard the entire way. And as we look at the clock, it's just 5 minutes and 1 second. So the regiment has finished first. They've set their mark. And this is the first event of the 2013 Kings of Competition. And we are ready and truly underway.
So you guys just finished the cinder block competition. How do you feel about your performance?
We performed well. You know, we're not construction workers by day, we're soldiers. So with that being said, I think we did pretty well. Then again, we did stack the block correctly, and we didn't just throw it on the pallet like D&J Construction did. So, you know this.
All right, these guys are sweating, but they did a great job.
My name is Humani, and I'm here for my Uncle Donovan.
Fantastic.
I'm Miles, and I'm here for my Uncle Donovan, too.
Right.
I'm Jay, and I'm here for fun. Ashley's here for my Uncle Donovan.
Okay.
All right, the second heat is underway with BAC versus Regiment Team 2. Looks like they're both out to a really good start. BAC had a little bit of a slip up, but we'll see.
Wow, Tamara, these guys have winning on their mind. You can see the men in blue straight out the gate, flying down. And you'll recognize the men in blue from their fantastic commercials. They're the key team you want to go to if you have anything to do if you're heating or cooling needs. We know the men in blue are people that you could depend on. And here they are showing some of that work ethic in this competition.
It looks like they're now enforcing that they have to make sure to put the blocks on properly. BAC is rearranging their blocks, whereas Regiment looks like they've started with the correct positioning.
Yeah, it was interesting. The first sort of contest that happened here, there was a little bit of discrepancy about who won, because the team that finished first, which we all saw was D&J, apparently didn't have their blocks stacked accurately. So they're still sorting out what they're going to do to rectify that, but now the rules are very clear. You have to stack the blocks a very certain way, or otherwise there'll be a penalty.
Yep, they're definitely making sure to enforce that properly this time around so we can have a clean heat.
Now, I definitely see one man in blue who's tired. Can you point him out? The regiment are looking good. Just looking back at the starters line, they almost look dead even in the amount of block they are moving. I see both teams are adapting that you carry 2 blocks at a time. And it's not actually a cool day.
No, the sun is out and the humidity is up. But it looks like the regiment is leading this time around because they started stacking their blocks correctly from the get-go, whereas BAC had to accommodate that and make up the time.
Yeah, I'm looking at BAC. They have probably 10 or 12 blocks that are not even on that pallet, but around the finishing line. And if you look at the regiment's block, the regiment has every single block stacked as it's coming in. So if it comes down to 1 block for 1 block coming back down the stretch, well, the regiment's just going to have to place it in the last place. And BAC is going to have to organize. So at this point, I would have to give the regiment the slight advantage.
Yep, and it looks like the organization of how the blocks are supposed to be is really getting into BAC's time.
It's amazing. I know that I've done some construction jobs for some summers, and I always just hated moving the blocks, Tamara. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I love this part. I hated this absolute part. I would hide when I knew that the block trucks were coming. I would go to the bathroom for the whole day till the block truck left. You know, I found every way possible, besides not getting fired, to stay away from lifting those blocks, Tamara. That was my strategy.
I can't say I blame you because these guys, it looks like it's taking their toll on them. These blocks are heavy and It's a lot to move them.
Yeah, the men in blue are starting to look blue in the face.
They're now up to their 5th row, stacking them up. The finish line is getting smaller, and the starting line is getting smaller, and the finish line is getting bigger.
Yeah, you're right, Tamara. The transfer of these blocks is really taking hold, and right now, see, BAC is concentrating on getting those last blocks that were unorganized organized, so they can kind of make up their ground time. It's very interesting as we look at the competition underway in full as we edge closer and closer to the finish of this first event in the Kings of Construction 2013.
And it's now coming to the end of the competition. It looks like it's going to be a close race. They're both hustling hard to make sure the blocks are on properly and in the right formation, because if not, they will get points deducted for that. And it looks like the regiment is coming to a close. BAC still struggling to get the last blocks from the start. And looks like we have a winner. Has the regiment finished? The regiment is done. BAC is now getting the last of their blocks together, with the last man coming down from the start line. And it looks like the other regiment team too is the winners of the second heat. Any comments about your performance today?
You know I'm out of breath, but that's Army strong.
You guys hustled hard and made sure that the formation was good.
Oh yeah, we tried our best, but it's a good effort. I'm gonna slip to the side and catch my breath.
No problem.
All right, and your names?
Christian. Isaiah.
Right. That's way better. Well, we're here at the scoreboard. It's a very hard job. Everybody wants to come first. Scorekeeper, who's leading round?
Right now, it's actually the first team. It was D&J 2s and Bermuda Regiment. There was a tie. And on the second leg, it was Men in Blue and Bermuda Regiment. So right now, there's a tie. Then we have a tiebreaker for the first leg.
Fantastic. Well, let's see who comes out on top after this tiebreaker. Make sure you stay tuned for more 2013 Kings of Construction. Do you guys have energy left to do this task?
Of course, we got energy. We're the Army.
If it's in a specific time, then yeah, we can do it.
If nothing, we got this. We got it.
Well, it's a lot of confidence on the Army side. They feel that they've already won it the first time, so here they're just doing what they did the first time. Let's see what the other team says. D&J, is a lot of talk and rumors about who won that first one. How do you guys feel now for the tiebreaker?
Hey, we're going to show them up.
Are you guys got any energy left? Well, maybe they speak in silence or they speak with their actions. We'll see. We'll leave it up to you. 2013 Kings of Construction. Tiebreaker underway. So the tiebreaker will be moving as many blocks to these empty pallets in 1 minute.
So this time it's all about endurance.
And they're off. And they're running down the street with blocks.
Looks like each guy's got 2 blocks in his hand. And they're using the same process because they still have to stack them properly, even though it's the most in a minute.
Wow, this is serious. This is absolute energy and effort at its best. Look at the running and the stacking is happening so fast here. Really a lot of action and excitement. 30 seconds. These guys are really not leaving nothing in the tank. They're giving it all. A pair of gloves have even dropped.
Looks like everything's dropping to the side just to get the most amount of blocks they can.
A pair of shades have been destroyed as this competition. It's all about moving block now, and everything else is second.
The crowd is hyped up, the teams are hyped up, and that's time.
And that's time. And we're about to have the count. As we go to the judges now, to this tiebreaker, the judges are looking at the blocks and they're starting to count them. The blocks being counted. And D&J has, the count for D&J is 28. So can the regiment beat 28 tomorrow?
We'll see.
Somebody says 26. All right.
And it looks like D&J is the winners with 28 blocks.
Well, it takes a lot of things to make a construction job work. Now, what does Bermuda Engineering bring to a construction site?
Well, we bring a lot. We bring savings. Savings for the environment, savings for our customers, highest quality possible, fantastic service, and really good quality products for good pricing. So we kind of bring the finishing touch. Everybody thinks about how much it's going to cost to build a house, but man, they often forget how much it costs to run it, and that is a serious number. So we're here to help people save in the long run, forever, for their kids, and for Bermuda.
Fantastic. Well, leave it up to Bermuda Engineering to be thinking ahead. Make sure you stay tuned for more 2013 Kings of Construction action. Back to you.
Nice one.
Thanks, you guys.
Not a problem, you guys. Not a problem, you guys. Not a problem, you guys. Anytime. The Kings of Construction 2013 competition would not have been possible without the following constructors: BCM McAlpine, D&J Construction, Bermuda Air Conditioning, and Digicel, as well as Caterpillar Construction Equipment. Thank you, and we would like to thank our sponsors.
You're watching the Kings of Construction, and we'll be back after these messages.